On this week's episode, we talk about why eating saturated fat doesn't make you fat and some easy tips for getting in saturated fat using coconut oil. Hello, I'm Billy Weiss, the Drug-Free Pharmacist, and welcome to episode 12 of the Lifestyle Construction Show. First of all, I want to thank everyone who showed up Saturday morning at 7 a.m. for our free introductory class. And especially a thanks go out to all those who signed up and joined our program. We really appreciate your confidence in us, and you will have amazing results. Now, there are some upcoming classes at the link below. One of them is actually this Thursday at 6:30. So make sure if you haven't signed up and you would like to click the link below, choose your date, and we'll be glad to see you when you get there. This week we're going to continue with week 2 of our series on fat loss or weight loss. And we're talking and working through some of the myths. If you remember last week, we talked about the myth that all calories are equal. That 500 calories of whole wheat bread was different from 500 calories of broccoli. So if you missed that episode, please go back and watch it and share it with your friends. This week, we're going to talk a little bit about another myth that is really very common when we're talking to people and people are going through our program. And that is the fact that eating fat will make you fat. Actually, that is absolutely false. When we're eating quality fat, that will actually help the body burn fat. And we're going to talk a little bit about why. Why would that be the case? Why do we need fat? Why is it important? And what are the right fats? That's what we want to try to cover. So why would we need fat in the body? Well, the average American is made up total body of about 15 to 30% fat. The brain is actually about 60% fat. And every cell in our bodies has a fat membrane or a fat surrounding the cell. So that's what holds things in the cell and lets things come out of the cell as they should if that fat membrane is functioning properly. So fat is a very key component of everything that we do and the way that our body works. When the body doesn't get enough quality fat in through what we eat, the body will actually, guess what? Try to preserve and hold on to more fat. So when we eat fat, we allow the body to get the nutrients that it needs from fat, like the good omega-3s and all these different nutrients that come from fat, quality fat, and then the body says, hey, I don't need to hold on to the fat that is around my organs or on my different body parts. And we all know around the waist, on the behind, all those different places that we all would love to get rid of fat. One of the ways that we can help you is to teach you to eat the right fats. And also, saturated fat is a big part of eating the right fats. And again, quality. We're always talking quality on everything that goes in our body. I know some of you out there are saying right now, well, if I eat saturated fat, it's going to cause my cholesterol to go up and I'm going to have heart disease or I'm going to have a heart attack. Well, actually, there's a study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition that studied the intake of saturated fat and heart disease, and guess what? It showed no correlation between the two. And there's a big reason for that I can think of as we think of the way the body works. Fat actually helps the body utilize insulin more effectively. And I want you to all remember this. When insulin is high, insulin will cause the body to hold on to fat. When insulin is low and in normal levels, the body can then burn fat. So when we eat fat, it helps the body keep the insulin levels lower than when we eat the sugars and the things that we talked about, some of the things we discussed last week where the sugars are in all these products. Good examples of saturated fat that you could eat are coconut oil. We recommend extra virgin unrefined coconut oil. Great way to get in good quality saturated fat. Avocados are a great fat. Grass-fed butter. eggs, free range, hormone, antibiotic free eggs. And grass-fed, grass-finished beef can be a great source of good quality saturated fats. Also, 99% of Americans are actually deficient in omega-3 fats, which are fats that are very beneficial for our brain, for our heart, for our cholesterol, for our joints. Just a myriad of effects that these great omega-3 fats have, but we don't seem to get enough in America through our eating. So we need to think of other ways to get it. Certainly grass-fed beef is a great way to get high omega-3 fats. Nuts and seeds can certainly give us some omega-3 fats, but most of us in America need a good quality supplement of omega-3s. So we certainly can help you with recommendations there to make sure that we're getting one that is free of the heavy metals and free of some of the other toxins that are found in many of them. Let's just think about what we've reviewed so far on these last 2 weeks about ways to lose fat. Number one, make sure from last week that we're not counting calories, we're not counting points, we are concerned with putting in quality. And let's make sure that we think of the insulin response, or what I described last week, I believe, as the glycemic index or load of a food. So let's try to eat foods that won't cause a big, let's call it a sugar spike. So things that have good quality fat will keep our insulin levels lower versus things that have a lot of sugar. So last week we talked to you about avoiding the sugars and looking for all the hidden names for sugar. I believe that we went over some of the most common ones that we want you to look for. And then this week we want to make sure that you're getting high quality fat in your diet every day, and specifically some saturated fat in your diet every day. So an easy way to do this, to accomplish this, is to have a tablespoon of coconut oil every morning in a really healthy smoothie of some kind, a protein shake. When you're cooking your grass-fed beef, you can cook it with coconut oil. You can cook your chicken with coconut oil. There's all kind of ways to fit it in. We have lots of recipes for salad dressings that use olive oil, which is not a saturated fat, but it's a very healthy fat for us. What we want to make sure we are avoiding with fats are trans fats. And what are trans fats? Think of margarine. Think of all the vegetable oils, the corn oils, the canola oils, all those other oils that are on the market. We can really make this really, really simple for everybody. If you're going to cook with something, make it coconut oil or grass-fed butter, and just eliminate the rest of those oils, and you'll eliminate a lot of the problems associated with fats that show up as creating more heart disease and things. Remember, it's not the saturated fats, it's the trans fats that are associated with these types of diseases, and those are our vegetable oils and things that we just mentioned. Before we go though, make sure that you like us on Facebook, that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please send in any questions you have about any of these topics, fat loss or whatever, and make sure that you share this with people who will benefit, because remember, this show is about helping you.